day to you all, my dear students, my BE Ed students, my BTBT Ed students, my architectural drafting students, and of course, my community development students. Today, we are on lesson 3 of our subject, Understanding the Self, which is the sociological perspective. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully so that you will be able to participate in our discussion as we go along. Get ready to chat in the live chat your inputs or questions about the topic, and of course, comment below present for your attendance this week.
Socialization is a process by which individuals acquire the knowledge, language, social skills, and value to conform to the norms and rules required into a group or community.
Socialization is a process by which individuals acquire the knowledge, language, social skills, and value to conform to the norms and rules required integration into groups or community. Example of socialization, which is interacting with friends and family, being told to obey rules, being rewarded for doing chores, and being taught how to behave in public places, are all examples of socialization that enable a person to function within his or her culture.
Socialization is the process of internalizing the norms and the ideologies of society. Socialization encompasses both learning and teaching. This thus the means by which social and cultural continuity are attained. Socialization is strongly connected to developmental ecology.
Socialization is the process through which an individual learns to adjust to a group and behave in a way that the group approves. Most social scientists believe that socialization encompasses the process of learning throughout one's life and has a significant impact on both adults and children's behavior, beliefs, and actions.
Hi guys! Let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with these pictures? Yes! Very good. It's what they call socialization. What is socialization? Socialization is a process by which a society transmits its cultural values to its members and the way in which individuals internalize the values, beliefs, and norms of a given society and learn to function as a member of that society.
Well, I think those were very good explanations about socialization given by Team 1. And have you noticed, kung wala ka ga-socialize sa ibang nga tao, they will never learn how to interact with you. The same way, hindi mo man ma-learn paano makitungo sa ila. And it is a learning process because hindi mo man dayon master kung paano mag-approach sa tao kung wala ka na start makipag-socialize. And sa subong, medyo budlay man mag-socialize face-to-face. Sa subong, is there still socialization present amongst you, student, or amongst you in school, in class? Alright, can you answer that question?
Self-theory describes the process wherein individuals base their sense of self on how they believe that others view them. According to Self Symbols in Society, Cooley's theory is notable because it suggests that self-concept is built not in solitude but rather within social settings.
The looking glass self describes the process where an individual bases their sense of self on how they believe others view them, using social interaction as a type of mirror. People use the judgment they receive from others to measure their own worth, values, and behavior.
According to sociologist Charles Horton Colley, individuals develop their concept of self by observing how they are perceived by others. For example, we may question ourselves, what might others think about me? Therefore, it is our reflection on how we think we appear to others, a revision of how we think about ourselves.
According to the American sociologist Charlie Horton Cooley, 1864-1929, the degree of personal insecurity you display in social situations determined by what you believe in others think of you. The concept of looking glass states that part of how we see ourselves from others' perception of how others see us.
Sometimes we think ourselves to be someone, just like we think that we are good, but sometimes we are bad without realizing it. And sometimes there are people who think us to be someone. A person may think that you are incapable because you don't talk and socialize with them. But maybe you are shy type of person, or you don't need to socialize with them because you already know in yourself that you are capable of. So this means that you are not what they think of you. Always remember that every person has a personality that don't depends on anyone except his or herself.
The looking glass self describes the process wherein individuals base their sense of self on how they believe others view them. Also, a social psychological concept created by Charles Horton Cooley in 1902, stating that a person's self grows out of society's interpersonal interaction and the perception of others.
The looking glass self is a social psychological concept created by Charles Horton Cooley in 1902, stating that a person's self grows out of society's personal interaction and the perception of others. The term refers to people shaping themselves based on other people's perception.
So that was The Looking Glass Self nga kay sino? Kasi malipat pa kamo kapilagi nila ginhambal by Charles Cooley. And ano ang hambal ni Charles Cooley about sa iya nga The Looking Glass Self? So word gani nga looking glass, kung natulog ka sa glass, ano makita mo? Kundi di ba self mo. Pero it is a result of what? Of how others see you. Bali gina-build mo kung sino ka paagi sa panulok sa imo sang iban. Is it good or is it a bad thing? Sige, can we discuss anay sa live chat if that is a good or a bad thing and why? For this case, sa diin yung nabala ma-observe ang isa ka tawo nga do applicable sa iya ang theory nga the looking glass self. For me, I think sa mga influencers na bala, especially sa common, sa social media, kung ano ang pagkita sang fans nila sa ila, do gina-build na lang nila ila self nga maging amuna nga klase tawo. But there are also some influencers nga wala sila gapa-apekto ya sa ilang nga fans, kundi kung ano ya ang pag-build nila sang ilang nga self, kag amo na ginapakita nila sa ila fans, nga nalamian ng fans nila sila, di ba padayon sila gyapon nga napakita sa nga personality. One member said to kagina nga we think we are good, kay gamba lang iba niya good ta, pero bad tagali. Well, for me naman niya, ang ginapanghawakan, nga man is born good, kitya. Pero, gaka-influence lang siya sa society. That's why he does evil things or bad things. Kung ikaw man di bala, we have morals when we are born. Yaling kung kisa peer pressure, kung kisa gambal na lang ay sila gani gaamo man ti mamo na laman ko ni But still, it is your choice. It is your decision to decide kung ano ang obrahon mo. Are you going to stay good? Or are you going to be influenced by others? Alright, so I need you to think about that. Which leads us to the next point nga ginhambal ni Cooley, ang hambalibla nga I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think that you think I am. Alright, let's hear kung ano ang explanation sang inyong mga classmates and schoolmates about this quote.
What does this quote means written by Cooley? I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am not what I think that you think I am. Basically, we perceive ourselves to be someone, like we think we are kind, but maybe we are sometimes mean and we don't realize it. And then, there is people who perceive us to be someone. A person may think you are arrogant and think yourself high because you don't talk to them, but maybe you really are shy and don't have anything to say to them. So you are not what they think you are. I'm what I think you think I am. This is, well, we don't usually react by the way we think of ourselves. We also do not react by the way what they think about you because you are not a mind reader. But we react by the way what we think they think about us.
It's a beautiful and powerful quote that simplifies that I am not what the society think I should be or how or what they wanted me to be. Do not worry about what you look like to others. Be yourself. Confidence is a key and focus only on yourself, not on others. Be confident enough to show your true self.
Welcome to Newsline. In today's generation, some of us is basically concerned to value the opinions of our society. To an extent, we begin shaping our personality accordingly, since nobody really knows what the other person might be thinking about them. He or she based in our own thinking. Sometimes a person's overall personality is developed by the self-interaction with the society.
I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. I am what I think that you think I am. It explains the way you think and not what you think about yourself. Perhaps the way you see, the way you know me, and the way you judge me is the reflection of myself. It explains that the way you act is the way you tell others to think the way of who you are.
It means that what you think I am is I'll be thinking in that way. In short, people used to be a person or act what they think others is thinking about them.
Class, amo na gani ginapa-discuss ko sa inyo para mabalaan ko ang inyo own ng pagintindi. Hindi kayo pag-google ko kung ano ang answer ni Google, amo maladayo lang ginahatag nyo dere. Alright, so let us break this down. Una, hambal ni Cooley, I am not what I think I am. Alright, daka lang tabihan ay ma-focus. Kanang here sa live chat kung ano ang pag-intindi nyo sang I am not what I think I am. Sige, can I see some answers? Alright, next line. I am not what you think I am. Okay? Again, please give me your understanding sa live chat. Sa balikuli nga, I am not what you think I am. Okay? And for the last, I am what I think that you think I am. I know daw ka-confusing, class no kikadamo sa word nga think. But this is where your critical thinking comes in. Panamduman nyo mayo, or kung gusto nyo, ilungguhon nyo. Ako, hindi. Kung ano ang ginapanumdum mo. Or ako, hindi. Kung ano ang ginapanumdum ko. Pero ako is kung ano ang ginapanumdum ko nga ginapanumdum mo party sa akon. Okay. Sige, I hope it makes sense. Pero sige, I will give my own interpretation about this. So, sa una nga line, I am not what I think I am, simply means nga, ang kaugalingon ko, hindi kung sinutingin ko ako, like, hamba ko ba nga, kaalam, gid sa akon. Kagwapa, gid sa akon, pero wala ko nagiligapati nga amo ko na. According niya sa ginahambal ni Kulia, pero gwapa, gima kuya, di ba klas? Okay. Pero gwapa man ka mo, dapat panumdumon nyo, iset nyo ang mind nyo sa kung ano tingin nyo i-build nyo sa self nyo. Hindi nyo pag-iset ang mind nyo sa tingin sa iban. Okay, balik kita kay Kuli. Amo na to. Ambalya, I am not what I think I am. So, maski na ano pa panumdumon ko, nga kasagad sa akon, nga butang taman be, ka-failure sa akon, think ko sa self ko, wala ko pulos, pero hindi na amo gali ang panulo ko sa self ko. Now we go to the next line, I am not what you think I am. Alright, medyo positive man siya gani, especially kung ang pagpanulok sang isa ka tao sa imo is negative. Like mabasa, ay si ano na bala chismosa gina saya, or si ano gina bala feeler na saya. Pero kaya amo na panumdum mo party sa akon, then ambal ni Kuli, hindi na amo ang pagtulo ko sa self ko. Rather, galing dari gasulod class, ang last line ni Kuli nga, I am what I think you think I am. Meaning, come down man gyapon sa kung ano ang pagpanumdum mo sa kaugalingon mo. Nga paglantaw sa imo, sang iban nga tao. Okay? So, regardless kung ano ginambal nila, like, mambal sila nga nami ka, mambal sila nga hindi ka nami, mambal sila nga bad influence ka, or mambal sila nga mabinuligon ka. Okay? It doesn't matter. What matters is kung ano ang panumdumon mo, kung ano ang kuhaon mo, kung anong i-accept mo na ginhambal nila party sa imo. That what makes you who you are according to Kuli. Gets? Haliwaton ko ha. Kung naghambal si classmate mo nga alam ka, kung hindi mo ya pagbatunon nga alam ka, then that's not how you will build yourself. Kung naghambal si classmate mo nga laway ka, kung batunon mo nga laway ka, kay tingin mo hambalya, laway ka, or tingin mo panulok nila si mo laway ka, then that's how you will build yourself. It all comes down yapon kung ano ang panumdum mo, kung how you think you look, or how you think the way you will be in society. Okay, so we need to, ano ang lesson dari class? We need to guard our mind. Kung ano ang mga thoughts yung napasulod sa aton isip, hindi kita mag-overthink. And I really suggest, personally nga isang bas ng ibang members nga, you think positively of yourself. That you look at yourself in a good way. Hindi mo pagpamatian ang hambal nga malain sang iban. Alright, kaya at the end of the day, it's all in your mind, in your own mind, on how you will conduct yourself.
There are 3 steps in the process of discovering the looking glass self. Number 1. An individual in a social situation imagines how they appear to others. Number 2. The individual imagines others' judgments of that appearance. Number 3. The individual develops feelings about and responds to those perceived judgments.
There are 3 steps in the process of discovering the looking glass self. First is an individual in a social situation imagines how they appear to others. Second is an individual imagine others' judgment of that appearance. Last is an individual develop feelings about and respond to those perceived judgments.
Charles Holton Cole's concepts of the looking glass self involves 3 steps. First, we imagine how we must appear to others. Second, we imagine the judgment of that appearance. Finally, number 3, we develop ourselves through the judgment of the others. So again, there are 3.
The process of discovering the looking glass self. According to Cooley's theory, the process of discovering the looking glass self occurs in 3 steps. First, we imagine how we must appear to others. Second, we imagine the judgment of that appearance. And the last one, we develop ourselves through the judgment of others.
Now we go to Cooley's 3 steps in developing self-image or self-concept. And number 1, itong hambal sang isa ka member is an individual in the social situation imagines how they appear to others. Okay, can I hear sa live chat, if you are in a social situation like pagpa-enroll nyo, did you think kung ano ang panulok-ayhan sang iban sa inyo nga pagtapak nyo da sa isa?
Social self-theory. George Herbert Mead, a sociologist from the late 1800s, is well known for his theory of the social self, which includes the concepts of self, me, and I. Mead's work focuses on the way in which the self is developed. Mead's theory of the social self is based on the perspective that the self emerges from social interactions, such as observing and interacting with others, responding to others' opinions about oneself, and internalizing external opinions and internal feelings about oneself.
George Herbert Mead's theory about the social self is based on the perspective that the self emerges from social interaction, such as observing and interacting with others, responding to others' opinions about oneself, and internalizing external opinions and internal feelings about oneself.
Hi everyone! It is based on the perspective that the self emerges from social interactions such as observing and interacting with others, responding to others' opinion about oneself, and internalizing external opinions and internal feelings about one, the part of an individual's personality composed of self-awareness and self-image. Mead also claimed that the self is not there at birth, rather, it is developed with social experience.
His theory of the social self includes the concepts of self, me, and I. It is based on the perspective that self emerged from social interactions. According to Mead, the self is not there from birth, but it is developed over time from social experiences and activities.
George Herbert Mead's theory on self was based his perspective that the self emerges from social instruction, like observing, interacting with others, responding to others' opinion about oneself, and internalizing external opinions and internal feelings about oneself. Also, Mead created activities to develop the self, and these are language, play, and games.
There are 2 types of self. First is the one which is considered as a socialized aspect of an individual. It represents the behaviors, attitudes, and expectations of others. Next is the I, which is considered as the present and future phase of an individual. It represents the individual's identity based on
The
responsibility.
4 ideas about self-development. First, psychology. Psychoanalysis, Sigmund Freud, 1856-1939, was one of the most influential modern scientists to put forth a theory about how people develop a sense of self. He divided the maturation process into stages and posited that people's self-development is closely linked to their early stages of development. Second is anthropology. Self is based on finding human human individual. The self of which we are aware is not something innate within us. It is a model of our self-produced as in response to the models of us offered to us by other people.
Philosophy. In philosophy, self or personal development could be defined as self-study designed to improve your attitude to life, to make you feel better on a personal level, and to improve your relationships with those people around you. And lastly, sociology. One of the pioneering contributors to sociological perspectives was Charles Cooley in 1864 to 1929. He asserted that people's self-understanding is constructed in part by their perception of how others view them, a process termed the looking glass.
According to George Herbert Mead,
The four ideas on how self is developed are language, play, games, and generalize others. George Mead believed that people develop self-images through interactions with other people.
These are the four ideas about how self is developed. The first one is the self-knowledge that indicates that man must stand and live according to his nature. And the second one is the self-presentation. According to Irving Goffman, self-presentation refers to people attempt to present themselves. And the third one is the self-fulfillment. According to Abraham Maslow, that means realizing of one's deepest desires and capacities. The last one is the self-realization, that according to Aristotle is having a high level of self-knowledge.
The four ideas of self-development are self-discovery, self-development, self-mastery, and self-actualization. Self-discovery allows you to discover who you are. The second idea is self-development. It's the process of your personal growth. The third concept is self-mastery. It's where you recognize most of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. Lastly, self-actualization, realization of your full potential.
According to George Herbert Mead, first, self-developed solely through social experience. Second, social experience consists of exchange of symbols. Third, knowing other intentions require imagining the situation from their perspective. Fourth, understanding the role of the other is taught in the self-awareness. Mead believed that the key to self-development is understanding the role of others.
Alright, so that was George Herbert Mead with his theory of the social self. But again, sa definitions ng socialization, you develop ang imo self by interacting from others. So this is what George Herbert Mead is trying to tell us. Kag kinambal man sa mga members nga the self is not there yet at birth. Meaning pagbata sa imo, do wala ka pa sense of self. Do hindi mo pa bala ma-distinctly identify ang imo kaugalingon nga ay amo ko niya, I am me, I am unique in birth or at birth. Pero, as you grow up, as you continue to socialize with others, dara nag-build ang imo character, ang imo personality, kung ano ka klase tao. Di bala? And we have four ideas according to Mead about how self is developed. And first of all, number one with that is the preparatory stage or imitation stage. And language develops self by allowing individuals to respond to each other through symbols, gestures, words, and sounds. Kung bata ka pa, ang una-una gid nga ang pagkilala sa imo self is through communication and not necessarily nga words or may ginahambal ka na, kundi through actions. Through facial expressions, like kung dumahibi ka, kay nagutom ka na, or lain mo pamatsyag, di ba? Wala man lang smile ang bata kung lain niya pamatsyag. And next is play, and develop self by allowing individuals to take on different roles, pretend and express expectation of others. Di ba, samtang ako ka, kung manamian ka gani, isang ginaubra ni mama mo, gusto mo, amo man lang mo ubrahon. Like, maskin manilig lang sa balay. I remember sang gamay, kuya, kung kapanilig na sila ay, ako man, or pahugas pinggan. Are you guilty as well? Or alin sang gamay, kaya wala kang hindi nag-develop passion about house chores. Or in time, natakaan ka na, kay permi na ginaubra. Diba? Sang gamay ka kung wala ka gani ginasugo, maintra ka gida nga hindi ka pa man kabalo. But that's it. That's how your self develops. And eventually, butang tayo binami, magluto yung mga father, tapos permi ka man sa kusina, kundi sa walihi, sagad ka naman magluto. And last is games. Develop self by allowing individuals to understand and adhere to the rules of the activity. Siyempre kung may hampang, like kung nakalantaw ka sa Squid Game, di ba kinanglan mo gin magsunod sa rules? And same man with development of yourself. Hindi pwede nga pag gusto ka lang ya kung anong imo obrahon. That's why there are rules, there are laws that are guiding us on how we conduct ourselves to be better persons of society and of course of this world.
What is anthropology? Anthropology is the systematic study of humanity with the goal of understanding our evolutionary origins, our distinctiveness as a species, and a great diversity in our forms of social existence across the world and through the time. The focus of anthropology is on understanding both our shared humanity, diversity, and engaging with diverse ways of being in the world.
Etymologically, a word anthropology is taken from two Greek words, anthropos, which means man or human being, logos or logia, which means study. Anthropology defined as that branch of knowledge which deals with the scientific study of man, his work, his body, his behavior and values in time and space.
When we say anthropology, it is the study of what makes us human. It is the scientific study of our origin, behavior, physical, social, and cultural development of a human being. So in other words, it is the study of all the aspects of human existence.
The term anthropology comes from the Greek words anthropos means humans and logos means study. Anthropology is divided into 4 sub-disciplines which are archaeology, biological or physical anthropology, linguistic anthropology, and cultural anthropology. In a short term, anthropology is a holistic of human beings and their culture.
Anthropology is a study of what makes us human. They consider the past through archaeology to see how humans lived hundreds of thousands of years ago and what was important to them. They consider what make up our biological body and genetics, as well as our bones, diet, and health.
Archaeology comes from the Greek word archaea, means ancient things, and logos means theory or science. So, archaeology is defined as the scientific study of material remains from past human life and activities. We can classify these remains into artifacts or features wherein these objects are created, modified, or used.
So here, archaeology is the study of the remains of past human life which began 500 years ago. So the main aim of archaeology is to place material remains in historical context to supplement what may be known from written sources and thus to increase the understanding. Archaeologists excavate or dig in the earth and attempt to understand how and why human behavior has changed over time.
Archaeology is the study of the ancient and recent human past to material remains. Archaeologists may study the million-year-old fossils of our earliest human ancestors in Africa. Archaeology analyzes physical remains of the past in pursuit of broad and comprehensive understanding of the human culture.
Linguistic anthropology is a field of anthropology that investigates the function of language in people's social lives. Linguistic anthropology studies the impact of language on communication. Thus, language is important in defining social identity, group membership, cultural views, and ideology.
Well, according to William A. Foley, linguistic anthropology is a subfield of linguistics and anthropology, which deals with the place of language in its wider social and cultural context and its role in making and maintaining cultural practices and societal structures.
Linguistic anthropology, it is the study of human speech and language, as well as the various changes that have taken place over time. It is the anthropological subfield that focuses on language and its importance to understand human history, culture, and biology. It tries to comprehend different processes in human communication, language variation, and language use.
Linguistic anthropology is an approach to the study of language that focuses on the relation between language, society, and culture. It is considered by some to be a branch of general linguistics, by others a branch of anthropology, and others as an autonomous discipline.
Linguistic anthropology is the interdisciplinary study of how language influences social life. It is a branch of anthropology that studies the role of language in the social life of individuals and communities.
Cultural anthropology studies how human cultures are shaped or shape the world around them, and it focuses a lot on the differences between every person. Cultural anthropology has gave us a better understanding of world affairs and world problems because it studies the way people think and do things differently.
Cultural anthropology is a branch of anthropology that studies the human societies and development or differences around them, like beliefs, cultures, ideas, and religion. It also deals with the learned behavioral characteristics of the past and present, and to the future of humans in a society as well.
Cultural anthropology. When you heard cultural anthropology, what comes to your mind? Do you have a small knowledge about cultural anthropology? If none, Let me discuss to you what is cultural anthropology. Cultural anthropology is a major division of anthropology that deals with the study of culture in all of its aspects and that uses methods, concepts, and data of archaeology, ethnography, and ethnology, folklore, and linguistics in its descriptions and analysis of the diverse people of the world.
Cultural anthropology is a branch of anthropology focused in the study of cultural variation among humans. It is in contrast to social anthropology, which perceives cultural variation as a subset of a faceted anthropological constant. Cultural anthropology has rich methodology, including participant observation, interviews, and surveys.
Cultural anthropology study of human cultures, their beliefs, practices, values, idea, technologies, economics, and other domains of social organization.
Physical anthropology deals with evolution of human and their adaptation to the environment. Using evolutionary perspective, they study physical forms of human bones, muscles, organs, and also its function to allow survival.
Deals with the evolutions of humans, their variability and adaptations to environmental stresses. Using an evolutionary perspective, we examine not only the physical form of humans, the bones, muscles, and organs, but also how a functions allow survival and reproduction.
Branch of anthropology concerned with the origin, evolution, and diversity of people. In order to explain the diversity within and between human population, physical anthropology must study past population of fossil hominids as well as the non-human primates.
Physical anthropology or biological anthropology deals with the evolution of humans, their variability and adaptations to environmental stresses. Using an evolutionary perspective, we examine not only the physical forms of human, but also how it functions to allow survival and reproduction.
Physical anthropology is also called biological anthropology. It's a study of genetic, anatomical, and physiological aspects of humanness, including our relationship to other kinds of animals in the past and present. Physical anthropology study human evolution to understand when human first exist and how human body has changed through time.
In conclusion, reading and understanding the various ideas about understanding the self and the branches of social sciences has enormous effect to understand ourselves and understand ourselves better than the one who thinks who really we are. Reflecting our self-concept is important too, or influenced by interpersonal relationships and the reactions towards other people in the society. We use our social situation to gain self-esteem by perceiving ourselves as members of important and valuable groups that makes us feel good about ourselves.
In addition, the past in society or environment that we live in have a great impact on how we can understand ourselves, not because they dictate to us, but we socialize with them.
So for the remaining topics of this lesson, ginhatag ko lang ni class para may understanding ka mo on these terms, especially on how you will define them. Like for the first one, what is anthropology? Anthropology is the study of human differences. Nga lain-lain ang tao. Di ba wala gyud ang tao nga pareho, may ara ka man masiling nga do pareho ka mo, amo na gani nga nagiging friends ka mo, pero with regards to your biological, paligid nga may lain. What about your cultural differences? Ang mga practices nyo yan, hindi lang bisa religion, kundi sa sulod sang panimalay, di ba la? And of course, human nature. May ara gyud nga hindi ka mo mag-agree sa isa ka bagay, maskin partner mo pa na siya. Wala may differences good, and that what makes us human. Ang wala gani nga ang mga differences nga na gina-embrace ta, and it builds us to an even more diverse and stronger society. Now the next term is archaeology. It examines the remains of ancient and historical human populations, kung paano sila nag-adapt as time evolves or as time goes on. Di wala kung sa history nyo, ma-recall nyo nga sang una, lain ang itsura sang human, ang sa mga stories na blangambal nila linta sa amo, pero wala man ko nagapati class. Pero sang una, if you notice, humans have stronger upper extremities, like ang ilang mga arms, mga dalago, because we walk on four legs. Not four legs, we walk on four, like on our arms and on our feet. Muna nga mas dagko ang aton arms because kaya climb kita trees because we need that in order to get food or galangoy kita or gaubra kita sa mga weapons in order to survive. But as time goes on, nga may mga technological developments na nga hindi to na kinanglan magtaklas-taklas or kung ano da nga masapos na lang, amo na nga lang evolved man ang aton nga physique as human beings to how we look today. And with that all said, I want you to chat your takeaways or ang mga na-learn nyo sa subong nga lesson sa aton nga live chat. So I will give you time to give a short but concise understanding kung ano ang nakuha nyo or na-learn nyo sa aton nga discussion today. Okay, sige, amat-amat na kamo chat as I record your answers. And of course, if you notice sa video sa mga clips to bilang may star, those are the students that I think have produced wonderful videos na nakakuha isang perfect score for this learning task. So kung balikan nyo, kung makita nyo nga may star ang inyong video, then that is very good. As for the rest, I have scored you according to the outputs that you presented. Kaya reminder lang gali class, ang aton yung mga videos, kung hindi ka mo kalantaw live, it is available anytime. So, hindi ka mo magambal sa akon nga, ma'am, sorry, hindi ko ka-attend sa klase mo or na-miss ko ang class mo, ma'am, because it is just there. Kung may time ka na yan, maskin 30 minutes lang sa gabi, lantawon mo para makakatch up ka sa aton nga lesson. And kamo man, kung na-notice yung classmate nyo ulagatan, especially sa mga student in charge dira subong, kaya sa mga student body nyo, may ga-chat sa akon nga may na-miss ako ng mga klase ko, please tell them nga available lang ang video sa aton nga Facebook group. Pwede siya ka-participate anytime and comment for their attendance within the week. And also, may mga students ka po nag-chat sa ako niya, ma'am, may klase ta sa amon ni, ma'am, nang ma-meet ka sa amon, please be guided by our class calendar. Mabalaan mo gid bala kung sino ang absent, no, agamba lang present, pero wala man gili ga pamati sa klase. So, mabalaan ko ginakay ka mo mismo ang gapabalo sa akon by chatting. But there is nothing wrong. Again, I would like to repeat this. There is nothing wrong with asking questions, class. Okay, at least ako aware ko nga hindi ka mo kabalo and I will be able to answer you man para makabalo ka mo. So that's fine. All I'm asking is kung ga-attend ka mo sa class, please do listen and understand. And please read sa mga announcement kag instructions. Hambal ko gani wala ko malagi na post on the spot nga dapat ma-answer gid ka mo dayon, but I give you time. And I hope that you will also do your responsibilities as student to make sure nga follow ka mo sa klase. Alright? I hope you learned something and I hope na may nagdugang sa inyo nga kaalaman. If you have more questions, we will continue our discussion for this week sa aton nga Facebook group. Have a great week! God bless!
ありがとうございます。